Lesbian detective. Unsolved cases. She's still missing. Yeah, they haven't found her yet. Well, let's talk about it.
They say he vanished without a trace. Could it be a psychotic break or a tragic accident? Police don't know where the body went. Unsolved murders, body still missing. That's unheard. Where's the witness? Lesbian detectives, what's going on? City on high alert, this out the norm. He did what, the who? Man, that ain't real, these crimes ain't true. Then come uncover these theories with us. We live right now, tuning in is a must.
Right now, lesbian detective. Lesbian detective. We about to start the show, so get your popcorn ready, let's go. Pay attention to the message I present to you, the lesbian detectives.
This is Lesbian Detectives. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And we are here talking about missing and unsolved murders.
We are discussing cases that you have forgotten about or never even heard of.
So sit back, relax, and let's start this podcast. Welcome back, everybody. To say that the month of June, I'm only going to do LGBT cases.
Is it because you're gay?
No, because it's Pride Month.
Speaking of, my birthday is going to be in about 2 weeks.
And she's busy to the max. We are going to see Scary Movie 7, 8, 9. I don't know what movie.
6.
I don't know what it is. And then she picked this Mexican Asian fusion place.
Mm-hmm.
I had one that I wanted her to choose. I said there's so many ones. And she was like, no. She chose the first one. I'm like, did you really look at the other one? She's like, yeah.
I've been seeing a lot of the stuff for the first one, so that's fine.
So I'm a little sad, but I thought we can go again to the one I really want to go.
I really want to do Vegas, but we don't have a babysitter, so...
Oh my God, did y'all guys see my TikTok this week? If you haven't, go to my personal TikTok. My mom's supposed to babysit our daughter, but she didn't, so we took her to a Mexican concert. She was free, so thank God. But she turned up. She was dancing, and then like the first act was so long in her little head, she was like, okay, this is it. Like, like an hour or so.
And then you had anxiety because 2 people got hurt.
Yes, I've never been to a rodeo. So they did like a rodeo where they ride the bull. Guys, no lie, the guy, like one guy passed out on the bull and another guy, the bull stumped him. Of course, I was like, what the blank did I get myself into? And then the sad thing about it, like they took the first guy, they took him to the hospital. And they didn't have one for the next guy because he was right behind.
All the paramedics went with the first guy.
Yeah.
So when the second guy got hurt, there was no paramedics. And we're just
and they're like back to back. So like one got hurt and like 10 minutes later, the other one got hurt. I was like, dang.
Yeah.
And my daughter, she was like, oh my God. I'm like, oh, close your eyes. Like we didn't know he was going to get hurt. But yeah, she told us about like halfway to the show. She's like, Mama, I'm all done. That's night-night. Night-night. We're like, babe, the act hasn't came on yet. Like, this is the pre-guy. She was like, oh, we still got something left? But she lasted a couple hours, and then she just cried. She was like, I can't no more. But yeah, that's my rambling for the day.
Yes, thank God.
So, guys, this case right here is very crazy. I think she was getting stalked, but the cops, they don't believe that she was. So tell me what you guys believe. I would love to hear your theories. Now let's say my favorite line. Now let's get into the episode. On a quiet spring day in 1989, something happened in Richmond, British Columbia, that still doesn't sit right with anyone who looks into it. A woman supposed to meet friends that evening, she never showed up. Later that night, her car was found abandoned in a shopping plaza parking lot. Groceries were still inside. Her purse was scattered on the ground outside the vehicle. There was smeared blood on the driver's door, and she was gone. At first, it looked like a sudden disappearance. Something fast, something violent, something that should have left answers behind. But what investigators quickly realized was that this moment wasn't the beginning of the story. It was the ending of something that had been building for years. Because for nearly a decade before she disappeared, she had been telling police that someone was stalking her. Not once, not occasionally, repeatedly, over and over again. She reported late night phone calls where there were only silence or heavy breathing, or a voice that claimed it knew exactly where she was inside her own home. She reported finding threatening notes left behind at her house. Some were made from cut-out magazine letters. Others were handwritten, rushed, and deeply personal. She reported break-ins, a dead animal left outside her home, phone lines cut, porch lights smashed, and a pattern of fear that over time escalated into physical attacks that left her injured and terrified. Police responded each time. Reports were filed, incidents documented. The file kept growing. And yet, despite years of complaint and nearly 100 reports incidents, there were never a confirmed suspect. No arrest, no identified stalker, no one ever held responsible. So when she disappeared in 1989, investigators weren't just dealing with a missing person. They were dealing with a question that had no simple shape. Because either someone had spent years carefully terrorizing her without ever being caught, or something about the story had never been fully understood from the beginning. And when her body was found 2 weeks later, bound and left in an abandoned yard, even the answers didn't arrive. It only deepened the mystery, and that's where the case begins to split, and where the questions really start. This is the case of Cindy James. Cindy James was born Cynthia Hack in 1944 in British Columbia. She grew up in a strict military household. As an adult, Cindy became a nurse. People who knew her described her as intelligent, compassionate, and extremely detail-oriented. She married a psychiatrist, Dr. Roy, in 1966. He was 18 years older than her. Later, Cindy's family would describe their marriage as trouble. Some even suggested there might have been emotional abuse involved, though Roy denied that. Then, in summer of 1982, Cindy and Roy separated. And shortly after that, everything changed. At first, Cindy started getting strange phone calls late at night. Sometimes it was heavy breathing, sometimes silence. Sometimes a man whispering threats. One caller reportedly told her, "I know you're sitting in your living room," and then the notes start appearing. Some were made out in cut-out magazine letters. Others were handwritten and aggressive. Messages like, "You will die. Run, rabbit, run. Cindy, I see you." And it didn't stop there. Cindy reported that someone threw a rock through her back window. Her porch lights were smashed. Her phone lines were cut. At one point, she found a dead cat outside her home. And according to Cindy, whoever was doing this wanted her to know they can get inside her house. That's what terrified her the most. Then, in January of 1983, things escalated. Cindy's friend found her unconscious outside her home with nylon stockings tied tightly around her neck. Cindy later said someone attacked her near the garage, but she never saw the attacker's face. She only remembered white sneakers. Police investigated, but this was also when detectives started questioning Cindy's story. Not publicly at first, but privately. Investigators felt part of the evidence didn't fully match her version of events. Cindy insisted someone was trying to kill her. And honestly, some of the incidents are hard to explain because the harassment kept happening. She moved houses, changed her last name, installed alarm systems, carried a rape whistle. At one point, Police even conducted a 24-hour surveillance outside her home, but somehow nothing happened while officers were watching. The incident only seemed to happen after they left. And from the police perspective, that raised a huge question. If someone's really stalking Cindy this aggressively, how were they never seen? But then something happened that made the case even stranger. In 1984, Cindy hired a private investigator named Ozzy because she felt police weren't taking her seriously enough. He gave her a two-way radio so she could contact him if anything happened. Then one night, Ozzy heard a strange noise and static coming from the radio. So he rushed to Cindy's house. When he got inside, he found Cindy laying on the floor. A paring knife had been driven through her hand. Pinned beneath the knife was a threatening note. Cindy said someone attacked her, hit her over the head, and injected her with a needle. Doctor later confirmed there was actually a needle mark on her arm, but toxicology found no drugs in her system. And once again, no fingerprints, no sign of forced entry.
No evidence that another person had been there. At this point, investigators became deeply divided. Some thought Cindy was surviving terrifying attacks. Others started wondering if she could somehow be staging these scenes herself. And that theory completely devastated Cindy and her family. Over the next few years, Cindy's fear seemed to consume her life. Friends often stayed with her because she was afraid to be alone. She constantly checked locks and windows. She barely slept. Then in 1985, Cindy was found in a ditch 6 miles from home. She had bruises and cuts. She was suffering from hypothermia. And once again, a nylon stocking was tied around her neck. But Cindy said she couldn't remember what happened. At another point, a fire broke out in her basement while her friends were visiting her house. But investigators still couldn't find evidence of an intruder. And eventually, some police openly suggested that Cindy might be responsible for the incidents herself. That would have been incredibly isolating, because whether the attacks were real or not, Cindy was clearly terrified. Eventually, she was admitted to a psychiatric facility because people around her feared she might harm herself. And from that point on, her mental health became a huge part of the investigation. Some experts believe Cindy was suffering from paranoia or severe psychological distress. Others believed years of fear and not being believed had pushed her into emotional collapse. But nobody could fully explain all the incidents. And then Cindy disappeared. On May 25th, 1989, Cindy James vanished. That evening, her friends Agnes and Tom Woodcock planned to spend time with her because Cindy was afraid to stay home alone. But when they arrived at the house, she wasn't there. Neither was her car. At first, they thought maybe she had stepped out for groceries or errands. But as the hours passed, they started getting worried. So they drove around looking for her. And eventually they found Cindy's blue car sitting abandoned in the parking lot of a shopping plaza in Richmond. Groceries were still inside. Outside the car, the contents of Cindy's purse were scattered underneath the vehicle, and there were smears of blood on the driver's side door. It looked wrong immediately. Police dogs were brought in, but they couldn't track a scent beyond the parking lot. And just like that, Cindy was gone. For nearly 2 weeks, investigators searched for answers. They interviewed friends, family, neighbors, and coworkers. They revisited the years of stalking reports Cindy had filed. Detectives looked into possible suspects, including her ex-husband, Roy Makepeace. But there still wasn't enough evidence to directly connect anyone to the harassment. And then on June 8th, everything changed. A passenger noticed something unusual near an abandoned house in Richmond and called authorities. When police arrived, they found Cindy's body in the overgrown yard. She was lying on her side. Her hands and feet had been bound behind her back. A black nylon stocking was wrapped tightly around her neck, and almost immediately, investigators noticed something chilling. The nylon stocking looked similar to the ones involved in several of the earlier attacks Cindy had reported over the years, but the scene itself created even more questions. There were no obvious signs of a struggle nearby, no footprints, no tire tracks, no forensic evidence clearly pointing to another person. And then toxicology results came back. Cindy had high levels of morphine and other sedatives in her system, potentially lethal amounts, but investigators couldn't determine exactly how the drugs had been administered because no syringe was ever found at the scene, and the detail became one of the biggest mysteries in the entire case. If Cindy injected herself, where was the syringe? And if someone else killed her, how did they leave behind almost no evidence? In 1990, a coroner's inquest into Cindy's death lasted around 40 days. Investigators, psychiatrists, forensic experts, and family members all testified. And by the end of it, people were even more divided than before. One theory was that Cindy had staged the harassment herself for years and eventually died by suicide. Investigators supporting this theory pointed to the lack of evidence connecting another person to the attacks. No fingerprints, no witnesses, no confirmed sightings of a stalker. Some experts even demonstrated that it was physically possible for someone to hogtie themselves. Extremely difficult, but possible. And because Cindy had struggled emotionally for years, some believed that she had been suffering from severe psychological distress. But her family completely rejected that theory. They argued there was no way Cindy could have tied herself up so precisely after taking a lethal dose of drugs. And they also questioned how she could have hidden or disposed of the syringe before dying. To them, the answer was obvious. Someone killed Cindy James. Another theory suggested the truth may be more complicated. Some experts believe Cindy may have experienced genuine stalking early on, but over time, the stress, fear, and isolation deeply affected her mental state. Some incidents may have been real, while others were possibly self-inflicted or psychologically driven. But even that theory leaves huge questions unanswered, because no single explanation fully accounts for everything that happened to Cindy. Before we end this case, let's remember the victim. Cindy James was more than a name, tied to one of the most debated cases in Canadian history. She was a daughter, a sister, a nurse, and a woman who dedicated her life into caring for others in hospitals, psychiatric settings. People who work with her described her as intelligent, detail-oriented, and deeply compassionate. And in the years leading up to her death, she was also someone who lived in constant fear. She reported being stalked, threatened, and attacked repeatedly over a span of years. Whether every detail of those reports is understood or agreed upon today, what isn't debated is that Cindy believed she was in danger, and she lived her life accordingly, trying to protect herself, asking for help, and reaching out to authorities again and again. It's easy in cases like this for the conversation to turn into theories and contradictions. But underneath all of that is a human being who experienced isolation, anxiety, and fear on a level most of us can't fully imagine. So before we close, it matters to step away from the speculation for a moment and remember Cindy herself, not just what is argued about her story, but the life she lived, the people who knew and loved her, and the uncertainty that surrounded her final years. At the end of the day, regardless of what anyone believes happened, Cindy James is someone who deserves safety, clarity, and peace. And her story remains one that still leaves questions that haven't been fully answered. So we remember Cindy James. This is the case of Cindy James. Now let's get into some theories.
Theory.
Let's get into some theories. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories. Lesbian detectives. What type of thoughts you thinking? What theories running through your mind? I'm thinking all types of suspicion. Uncover the truth, what we can find. Witness say they saw somebody creeping out the back door. What you think they did it for? That's so crazy, I'm not sure. They found a car, where could she be? Here go another puzzle piece. Research and do your history. It's plenty unsolved mysteries. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories, yeah. Let's get into some theories. Let's get into some theories. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories. Let's begin detectives.
You or me?
Good.
But I'm going to do a little different this time. So I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think she was getting stalked, or was it all in her head?
It's a little bit more difficult than that.
Yes or
It's
no?
not a simple answer.
I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to be completely honest. Everything I'm about to say is allegedly, as I do not want to get sued. I think she was getting stalked. And who I think was doing all of this to mess with her, who was going to be the best person to do this, to make her question herself, to lose her mind? Her ex-husband. Come on now, think about it for a second. What is his job? What did he do for a living? He's a psychiatrist. Of course, he knows the mind game. I mean, think about it. She didn't start getting these letters and stuff until after they divorced. Her family said like that marriage was trouble. He was emotionally abusive towards her. And you know, when people are emotionally abusive, it's the mind. They're not hitting you. They're not doing it. They messing with your mind. They're trying to break you down. And he was 18 years older than her. His career already started. So to me, he wanted to mess with her. Even though he can get a whole new girlfriend, like, yeah, I was with somebody else. I think he wanted to ruin her life. And let me tell you something. I'm not saying all of them like that, but most guys that I see that are in that field, it's just like, it's an ego with them. And it's like, they have to play a mind game with you. Like, I had a friend like that. I'm like, oh my God, talking to this person was like, it was too difficult. I think it was the ex-husband because he wanted everybody to think that she was crazy. Because you see, at first the police like, okay, we believe her. Then it was like, oh, she's crazy. And then he can get drugs. He can get like the stuff that was in her system. He can get that stuff. He's a doctor. And then for her to have a needle mark, they're like, well, it wasn't on the toxology. Like we couldn't find it. Like there's nothing in her system. He knows what's going to be shown on the system. He knows how long it's going to take to be inside the blood. Come on. Like we have seen some in cases where they have like something like when girls get SA and somebody slips them in their drink, sometimes they can just pee it out or throw it up and it's gone. Or like 24 hours later, it's not in their system anymore. Like to me, it's like, I don't know. I think back, I'm like, who gonna be the best to play mind game like this? It's gonna be her ex-husband. Because her family already said like, he wasn't a good guy. I mean, I'm just saying, like, allegedly, do not want to get sued because I cannot go against a doctor.
So you think it was the ex-husband?
Mm-hmm. And I think he did his job. Like, he made her lose her mind. Like, people like, oh my, like, you hear what the police said, and most people said, like, oh, like, at the end, like, she wasn't okay, like, mentally. I mean, who would be okay being stalked? Mentally, who will really be okay? When they said that, like, when I was like reading and researching, they're like, oh, like in the end, she was not mentally okay. If you getting stalked and you have to watch everything you're doing, you're changing your last name, alarm systems, like you're doing everything to protect yourself, but it's not enough. To me, who else would know her changing her name and moving around? Her ex probably still friends with her family or friends. You know, he knows things. He can figure stuff out.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. But there's a few things that kind of don't sit well with me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the fact that she had people over because she was so scared. And these episodes happen while people were over. I get that somebody can be careful and stalk you and do this and that.
Mm-hmm.
How do you explain like a fire with a lot of people? The building that she was in or the home that she was in, was he familiar with that?
We don't know because the police didn't look into the ex until the end.
How did he have access to all of this? And there was like other people around. Like,
Mhm.
I get it. Like, you could be as careful as you can, but eventually you're gonna get caught. I mean, if you do something so many times and you're not familiar with the territory, like, you're gonna get caught. Now, in the beginning, she was a little bit more sane, so if it was her husband, ex-husband,
Mm.
if it was her ex-husband, like, she probably would have already kind of, like, seen him, or she probably would have, like, moved away. I don't know. It's just
She did move away a couple times though. To me, only reason I say it's the ex-husband, and y'all can like I can understand people like, oh my God, like I can kind of see she did it or the ex-husband did because I'm saying it's ex-husband is because some of the times that she was found is because like her friends was coming over, somebody was around, you know. But to me, when the police are like, oh, like we watching her, we don't see the stalker. If somebody's stalking me and they see the police there, do you think they're gonna like make a move right then and there? No, you're gonna wait until the police go, right? And then it seemed like the police they stopped caring. They're like, oh my God, she's like losing her mind. And
uh,
I
I mean,
understand.
okay, if I had to guess,
Mhm.
it would be a theory in between, right?
Mhm.
So, he starts her off, he winds her up, she's scared. Now she's getting sleep deprived, and whenever you get sleep deprived, you don't think clearly. If he's putting drugs in her, she starts hallucinating, so she don't know what's real, what's not. So, if we're going with that theory, I believe it could have been a person,
Mhm.
you know, there, but not always there. And then some of this stuff, maybe because she was not in the right state of mind,
Mhm.
maybe she even kind of did herself.
So I can kind of see that. I can see like in the beginning he probably was stalking her, but then he got so good at like messing up with her mind. She probably was seeing things, and that's understandable because, like you said, she was losing sleep. Like we always say, mentally she was not okay. And
Mhm.
I mean, would you be okay? No, nobody would really be okay. But I hate when the police say that she killed herself. It was suicide, and all those stuff that's inside her, she couldn't do that.
'Cause I mean, I can kinda see it, like, getting tied up.
That's kind of hard. Like
Yeah.
hard. Like think about that. How you gonna really do that? Like if you know how your body is, like your arms are back, your feet is up. Like you, there's no way.
Yeah.
If she pays somebody, like you can't. And then when she died, she had so much drugs inside her. Where? And first of all, where's the needle? Where's the syringe?
Where is she getting these drugs?
Yeah, I mean because she was a nurse, but of course she probably wasn't.
See, that throws another.
But she was a nurse, but think about it, when she started, like, losing her mind a little bit, like, having to go, like, away, she wasn't keeping her job. Come on.
I mean, I don't know, it's like,
You can kinda see both ways,
you
right?
could see both. I guess with me, or she could have, like, multiple personality
Mhm,
disorder, like schizophrenia, like, it could have been her, it's just, or it could be something as far as too, like, what if she knew patients that were also
mhm,
mentally unstable that were helping her
mhm,
kind of play out her, like, scenario or something. You never know, but it does make sense with the husband just because he was a psychiatrist, he was already abusive
mhm,
towards her, and it's like some things he did and some things I feel like once she got really, like,
mhm.
down into the loop, like, down the rabbit hole, like, she kinda did herself, and then he just finished her off.
But I love how the police was like, "Oh," like, the family said he was emotional abusive. He like, "No, I wasn't." Like, "We don't trust you, bro. Like, let's be honest, we don't trust you." Because the family said it, and, like, there's no she was raised in a strict military family. For her family to say, yes, he was emotional abusive towards her, that's something because they live in a strict military life, you know? She was always, like, routine, stuff like that, so but I don't know, I kinda can see, like, him doing the beginning, but I think his end game was always for her to go crazy. The killing part, I'm, like, questioning a little bit, but I feel like if it was a ego thing for him, he didn't want anybody else to have her. Like, he wanted her to die, like, we don't know how their relationship really ended or anything like that. Because, like, you can say, oh, well, he fouled. Some men try to foul first because they trying to win. You know, it doesn't matter. They
Yeah.
don't want their wife to end
So
everything.
you said that the police looked into him. What did they come up with?
Nothing. Like, it was cleared. Before we end this case, I think it was the husband and he unalived her. I think when he gave her, I don't think it was his plan to kill her. I think when he kidnapped her, he put too much drugs inside her and she probably passed away from all that drugs. Like, she was, out of it. I think that was the thing. I don't think he was trying to kill her.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I mean, I would say that she was mentally not there, but I can't explain how she tied herself up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you do that? Yeah, it could be done, but somebody who is not mentally stable, I don't think they would have the patience. I don't know. I mean, I just don't see it. Like, whenever I see somebody who is not in the right mind, they're all wired up, they're not thinking clearly, and when you tie somebody up, I feel like you have to be focused, you have to be calm, you have to not have, like, any shaky hands, like, you have to.
Yeah, like her family said, like, when she died, they be like, oh, it's a suicide. They're like, she was pumped with so much drugs, sedative. Like, how would she do that? You can't do that with that. I have had that before. That stuff make you so relaxed and just chill. Like, you're like in another universe, okay?
Yeah, and then she clearly had syringe marks, and there was no syringe around, there was no medication around. So I guess the more that I think about it, I do believe that it could have been the ex-husband, and everything we say is,
Alleged.
just alleged.
Yeah, I mean, he could have had cameras in the house too.
Because I don't see how she could have done a lot of these things.
What if he really was trying to get her back? Like, let's play with it. He wanted to be like Prince Charming. Like, she's getting stalked and all that. And he want to come in the white horse and be like, hey, I'm here for you. Like, you can stay with me. But it didn't work
this
that way.
happened for years. No?
I know, but for years, but like, what was that? What if that was the plan the whole time to get her back? I'm just, I mean, that was a thought. That was a thought. Don't cut my idea down so fast. Dang.
No.
Okay, guys, let's end this case. But let me know you think before my wife interrupt me that I was kind of right with my little theories. But this is our case, guys. We're on all podcast platform. We are on all social media, guys. I am doing my True Crime 1 minute again. It's been a week, and I'm watching First 48, and somebody told me some episodes to watch and do reviews on, so I am working on that one. So please come check out our Instagram, YouTube, and also TikTok. I am mostly on TikTok, so please come check us there. Please leave a 5-star rating. So this is Lesbian Detectives. Don't forget, everybody's a suspect.
So proven innocent.
Bye.
Lesbian Detectives. Unsolved cases. She's still missing. Yeah, they haven't found her yet. Well, let's talk about it.
They say he vanished without a trace. Could it be a psychotic break or a tragic accident? Police don't know where the body went. Unsolved murders, body still missing. That's unheard. Where's the witness? Lesbian detectives, what's going on? City on high alert, this out the norm. He did what, the who? Man, that ain't real, these crimes ain't true. Then come uncover these theories with us. We live right now, tuning in is a must.
Right now, Lesbian Detectives. We about to start the show, so get your popcorn ready, let's go. Pay attention to the message I present to you, the Lesbian Detectives.